Alright, welcome back to another video. I'm Spencer. I'm going to be just kicking it here for a couple of minutes. I just found out that I had the video that I recorded that's about 15 minutes in length, that the software I'm using wasn't actually recording in the right format, so I now have to come back, redo this video. But I'm gonna try and briefly recap what I talked about in the video that I now cannot see for whatever reason. But regardless, I wanted to talk about why you didn't see too much from me after March or April of 2020. So, the number one factor I definitely highlighted was I was just mentally beaten all year long, as I had some stuff happen with work, and I wasn't racing, so I didn't have any chance to go out there and enjoy and do what I love, enjoy my time and what have you. And the other thing that I talked about pretty much at length was the financial incentive to go race and where I was going to race and some of the goals that I had for last year. And that would have made, I think, a good amount of difference in terms of where I could have been with some different things that I've had going on. Money wise, I would have been given, I think, some space to breathe, which that's great. Like, everybody wants that, and if you're pinching pennies, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I mean, that being said, in it of itself, made 2020 for a lot of people very, very difficult. And I mean, me included. I'm someone who has student loans out. As a lot of you know, I'll be 2 years removed from college in May of this year, and I would have loved to pay off a fifth of my student loan debt from college, and I didn't get that chance because there weren't any financial incentives or anything in terms of races to do that have that financial incentive. So I was already very limited with what I could do on a budget, and I mean, I've been pinching pennies as a runner for about a year and a half now. My last, and that's since I started training for the marathon. The last marathon I ran, the only one I've ever run, I ran in October of 2019. It's been almost a year and a half since I last ran a marathon. It's been almost a full calendar year since I ran a competitive half marathon. And that was down in Tampa. That I made that video and produced it a couple of months later than the actual trip. But that was February of 2020. That was a year ago. So it's been super tough, because I could in theory go back in May and race down in Tampa, but there's not going to be any financial incentives to go race there because of the proximity to the track and field trials for the United States Olympic team. And last year, when I raced the Gasparilla half, there wasn't a financial incentive last year, as it was the same, I believe it was the same weekend or the weekend before the Olympic trials in Atlanta. So I was already very limited with opportunities last year, and I didn't even get to, see those opportunities through. I was gonna run Cleveland and Indy is another thing I touched on, and my goal was to win Cleveland and place top 5 in Indy in the marathon, and I would have gotten money from both of those races. I thought I had a really good chance to win Cleveland. I probably would have had to been a 2:23 guy, and I probably would have had to been sub 2:20 for Indy Monumental. And my thought process is that, I could have walked away with, a few $1,000s to put down on my student loans, and, I would have paid, anywhere from probably 10 to 20% off of my student loan debt, and I would have still been, granted, I still would have been pinching pennies, but that would have been so nice. I would have been, I think, a little bit more ahead of where I was, and that would have been great. So that is a lot of the reasons right there where why I just felt so beaten and so run down in 2020 and really didn't produce much content. And if you follow me on Instagram, which you can check, I'll put the @ on the screen right here. A lot of the gimmick stuff that I did, I did, some editing there for IGTV and did, some fun little edits there that are probably anywhere from 1 minute to 2.5 minutes. And, I enjoy doing that, and I want to keep doing that on my Instagram, so you can see some stuff there and follow me there if you're into seeing the little edits that I've done. But I just kind of went back to some old roots, really, is, just making just little quick videos to post online, like I did back in high school and like I'm doing here now, even though I'm doing more long form content with, the running YouTube, and, trying to build this and try and, show my journey from someone who ran at a Division III college to someone who's trying to go to the Olympic trials and, maybe farther. Who knows? And I think that's the glorious mystery of everything, is you never know where you're going to end up. And I just want to see how far I can go at the end of the day. That's where I'm at. I just want to see how far I can take this, because I know I have at least 2:17 to 2:18 for a marathon in me. That might be talking bold, but not being bold hasn't gotten me much of anywhere in my life, and I'm willing to, bet on myself and take some shots. And that ideally is what will make me happiest at the end of the day, is taking these shots as a long distance runner. I've been a long shot as an athlete, I think, my entire athletic career, and that spans different sports, multiple sports, and I've always loved the underdog role. I've always loved it. So I want to find a way to make this thing work. By God, I am. But with that being said, more videos coming your way soon. I'll at some point break down my highest mileage week ever, which is 115 miles, and I'll kind of show you the ins and outs of that week and explain to you what was going through my head at that moment in time. But until that video comes, guys, I will talk to you very soon. You can follow me on Twitter. That'll be down below in the description. You can follow me on Instagram. That'll be in the description as well. I might as well put them on the screen here for you. And you can also follow me on Strava, where you can see all my training, including that 115-mile week. But again, that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.